So we've covered all things community, all things SMS, WhatsApp, email retention, and now we're going to discuss everyone's favourite topic, acquisition. Ricky, let's start from you. If you could do a bit of an intro, who you are, company, etc.
I'm Ricky. I'm the co-founder and co-owner of Ripple Impact Gear, a motorcycle and snowboard protective clothing business. And we make things like protective hoodies for motorcyclists and protective jeans.
Oh, cool. I'm Julian Bavin, the founder of Vortex Air. So we were the first company in the UK to bring out our own version of the Dyson fan. So like heaters, coolers, purifiers, bladeless. With obviously our own twist. So we've got sort of a 180-degree vertical head tilt on our fan, available in 12 different colours to suit anyone's decor. And of course, we're half the price. So we've been running for about 5 to 6 years now. We sell sort of about.
Hi, Paul Sherratt, founder and CEO of Glove Glue. So our hero product is a spray that you spray on your goalkeeping gloves, football goalkeeping gloves, to make them grippy. So we sell now one Glove Glue product around the world every 150 seconds.
Great product. My name's Nick. I also co-founded Ripple Impact Gear. So we run, like Ricky said, a protective motorcycle and snowboard gear brand. Both things I absolutely love doing. So cool.
And we'll start with you both. Well done. You've just hit 100k orders in December.
Yeah. December. We're in March now. It's 130 now. I'm joking. No, it's true. It's 130. I wanted to fit in that.
Like there's so many platforms out there now, isn't there? There's so many ways that you can acquire new customers. You guys really focus in on Meta as being like your number one driver.
Yeah.
How did you really decide where to focus those efforts?
I guess it's a mixture. We follow where the money was, but also I think it was the e-com space we were in. It's where you had your testing bed. So, I mean, the algorithm for Facebook is pretty good, especially now where the creative really drives the targeting. And that's still the case, I think, for us. So I think it's a no-brainer. If you put a good creative out there with a good message, Facebook will tend to, we have found, against TikTok, have a really strong algorithm for finding customers. Yeah, Meta. Meta has, of course, two platforms. So you get Facebook and Instagram. So when you put a budget into Meta, it can distribute it across, Facebook and Instagram. And there's slightly different audiences. And also some ads do better on Facebook and some better on Instagram. We can get a full funnel out of Meta. You can't really do that in the same way on TikTok. We can have an advertorial on Facebook, which does better on Facebook, and then Reels on Instagram. And then, of course, Google, which is big for us, and it's high search intent. So people are searching for snowboard protective gear and they're ready to buy. So obviously a great platform, and it works really well with Meta.
Yeah, it's a great point, actually. So it's full funnel stuff. So whereas video content is still one of our strongest pieces of creative, but we can do things like advertorials that are more top of funnel, which still are profitable as well. And then images as well, because obviously they're native to the platform as well. So you can target so many different forms on so many different parts of that channel as well, where people are most likely to view and convert. It's a great point.
And Julian, you run a lot of like Facebook ad campaigns as well, don't you? Like, what are some of the key elements of like a successful and also budget-friendly campaign that you can run on Meta?
Yeah, I'd say coming off the back of your comment, creative drives the performance now. So it's all about keeping your campaigns like as simple as possible. All of our ads, I mean, we spend all that 50 grand a month on Facebook, and we don't target any specific audiences. It's just all completely broad.
Yeah.
We just let the creative do the talking. So with all different stages of the funnel, from top of funnel, middle to bottom, it's all just depends on the messaging and the type of creative that we've just put into one campaign. Just let Facebook just do its thing.
And Paul, like, we're going to kind of switch to a completely different channel now, LinkedIn. And I don't know if a lot of brands, does anyone here use LinkedIn for like e-com, DTC sales? Not many. Okay. It's a powerhouse for like B2B marketing, like traditionally, isn't it? Like, how have you really leveraged LinkedIn to like build those relationships and convert leads into B2B customers for Glove Glue?
I mean, I think it's I mean, that's really interesting, isn't it? How many people in the room put their hand up? Hardly anybody. For me, it's a platform that there's a load of opportunity. So, we sat down probably 18 months ago and said, okay, how do we connect with our B2B customers? Where are they? So we have 50 distributors around the world. We have a load of great partners, a load of big sports retailers around the world. Where are they? What age are they? Are they kind of my age? Are they where are the buyers? Where are the decision makers? Yes, they're on Insta and Facebook and TikTok and but actually what's the one platform that they definitely all are? And it probably is LinkedIn. We're all probably on LinkedIn. Most of us are probably voyeurs on LinkedIn. Most of us are inactive, but we're looking. We're on the platform. So my approach is, okay, let's really be super proactive on LinkedIn, daily posting. Really make sure that we're creating some content that people want to see. And what is that content? For me, that's building a global business. That's what are we doing behind the scenes. That's educating. So we created a category that didn't exist before, which is goalkeeping glove care. So we've created this category. So let's tell people about how we're doing that. How are we becoming category king and reinforcing our position as category king? Because what that means is the bigger the audience gets for me as a personal brand in LinkedIn, and that audience is, as I've just said, probably the decision maker, gives them a load of comfort, gives us as me as a person and the business behind that credibility. And it's amazing the number of comments from new customers and or existing partners that will say something to me that they'll know that I've been to DCC Live. They'll know I've done stuff. They're following the journey, probably as a voyeur, not connecting at all, but actually that journey is really resonating with them. That gets to the point where if I am in front of them selling the brand, selling new products, there's already a connection there, which I think is really interesting. It's the same strategy that we use from a B2C perspective, but actually very few people are using LinkedIn for that B2B. So I think we should all be on it, and everybody's business, even if it's D2C, there's an opportunity to use LinkedIn as a platform.
Definitely. And Nikki and Rick, what? Ricky and Nick, what type of content have you guys found to be most successful on Meta, and how are you kind of balancing like paid and organic strategies?
Oh, so content wise, it's difficult. I mean, there are definitely some winners for sure. I mean, we find that there's some images, some videos, some editorials that just bang, and they do. And probably as part of a larger ecosystem, we tend to find that videos are super engaging. Because you've got multiple frames, not just one still frame that, you're in danger of trying to cram so much info on to try and sell to the customer, or, the info's sparse. Whereas multiple frames in a video, you can really sell the journey of laying out the problem, twisting a knife a bit, and then leading into the solution. So video tends to do really well. I mean, but your advos bang as well. So and they're image driven. Actually, no, they're image driven mainly, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll start by saying we unfortunately don't do much organic at the moment. It's something we want to massively go ham on. And our social media manager, or new social media manager, is back there. So he's going to help. He's going to help us do that. But in terms of page strategy, we try to build out funnels based on awareness stages. So unaware audience, which is the largest audience, they're not even aware necessarily they have a problem and they don't know a solution. So unaware, and then problem aware, and then solution aware, and then product aware, which would be aware of our product. And at the top of the funnel would be unaware. So it might be an advertorial. It might be how to do a snowboard board slide, for example. So nothing to do with our product particularly. But if you read that article, you're definitely potentially our audience. And we might not even mention the product in the advertorial. Could be twofold. You might mention the product in the advertorial at the bottom, or it might just be a data play. So we retarget those users and take them down the funnel. So we'll take them from there. Then we'll show them a video about somebody falling on their arse, or a video about somebody doing a board slide, and then introduce our product. And then after that, they'll see an offer, 50% off this product that you've seen throughout your journey. So
Yeah, which is really cool. And like Facebook does a lot of the heavy lifting, so you can either catch someone that's high intent right at the end, that's just ready to buy, that hasn't even been through the funnel, and then you can catch some at the top of the funnel, which is like, did you know that if you're actually riding for long periods of time, it can cause X, Y, and Z, and they could actually be sold on that point, or be lined up for the next stage in the funnel, and it really can be. We catch them and sell anywhere really. But yeah, important note on that organic strategy as well. I mean, I personally have taken that really to heart because I am a motorcyclist and snowboarder, and we're very transactional. So I mean, we're direct response, and we're good at direct response. But I think it needs to be very value driven for the customer back. And I think sometimes we're a bit too like, buy my stuff. You know, it's springtime, it's Valentine's, and all that kind of thing.
The day,
so
anything.
Yeah. So we have taken that. I've taken that personally for sure. So I'm going to be really trying to push value up front.
And Julian, talking about like ad creatives again, like how are you testing them efficiently without like inflating costs?
I think this comes back to campaign structure. I mean, the old way to do things used to have like control the budget at ad set. So say you had 3 ad sets with 5 creatives in each you want to test, and set a budget at ad set level, say 20 quid each for each one. Regardless of performance, they will spend that £20 for each ad set. So we even just start doing with CBO testing campaign, and we just let Facebook distribute the budget where it seems to produce the best results to the best ads.
Do you mind if I ask? Yeah. Do you think, because we have this problem like big time, you know, we put money into an ASC, for example, so we've got a winner who's doing 60 purchases a week at a good rise, put it into an ASC, and then it just doesn't spend. And you're like, well, that's a fucking waste, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to get ads to spend sometimes when you let the algorithm go with it. Yeah.
Well, sometimes that is annoying. It is annoying. Sometimes it won't get spent. So you can set, a minimum spend. Ad set in a CBO. You're talking about the Advantage Plus now. Yeah. Well, sometimes you just have to just duplicate that, just put it in its own campaign with its own budget. Yeah.
Well, something that Meta said about sometimes switching off stuff that's spending already. So like, is in an Advantage Plus, maybe switch off the ads that are spending to give a little bit of spend maybe into it. Well, do you do that? Or
actually, I've started doing almost nearly the opposite these days, because you've got to look at things like you're saying. You had an excellent point of fleshing out the funnel. It's very important, especially when you're looking to scale. You've got to invest more sort of budget and in creative volume in the top of the funnel to get those people in that don't even know about you, don't even know that the problem exists. So if you're looking for quick wins, you want to start with like static ads, bottom of the funnel with an offer, because Facebook already knows sort of audience that are already interested, ready to buy. So that's where you want to position that. But then when you're looking at a campaign with your funnel of different creators, sort of lower funnel, bottom of the funnel, middle and top, sometimes turning off the ad creators that have got the highest cost per acquisition, you think, oh, that's not performing well. Well, actually, it plays a vital role in the full funnel, because that's maybe the top of the funnel where people are coming in. They're not purchasing there, but then Facebook attributes that sale to the bottom. So it's almost like a little bit of a nuance. You've got to sort of have a feel of your account and its sort of holistic view.
Yeah, 100%.
And just to switch to another platform now, Paul. Sorry, you've got all of them because you're everywhere. TikTok. Let's talk TikTok. Everybody loves to talk TikTok because it is still like a fairly new beast that some people have mastered and cracked. Some people are just like, how do I even get started there? It's great for brand visibility. It's great for building that community and that following. Like, what were some of your like biggest obstacles as you started like building up that TikTok account?
So I was super lucky. So we, my, at the time, probably 15, 16-year-old son, said, and this is 3-4 years ago, Dad, you need to be on TikTok. And I'm like, what was I, 50? I'm a 51-year-old, I haven't got a clue. What is this TikTok you talk of? So you think what it was 3 or 4 years ago. It didn't have the resonance. So he pushed to make sure that we got on the TikTok platform. And I think that definitely helped because we were kind of first in. So we had some virility really quickly. Hitting, I think our most file was something like 70 million views or something crazy for a spraying goalkeeping glove. So crazy. And we've leaned into that. And, but I think the challenges, and I'll just move on to this. So we tried again 3-4 years ago, TikTok shops. the infrastructure in the UK then, I think there were 3 people worked in TikTok in London. Our account manager was in Shanghai with ByteDance. It was super early, and it sort of worked, but didn't really work, and it never really resonated. So we kind of stepped away from it. Maybe that was an error. Maybe we should have carried on doing that, because I think if we'd have done with TikTok Shops what we did with content, so we're now nearly, I think, 900,000 TikTok followers and growing. I think if we'd have done the same thing with shops, we'd have learned a hell of a lot in the last 3 years. Everybody's talking about it, but they've really talked about it in the last 12, 18 months. So I think that's an error from our perspective. But the biggest point for us at the time with TikTok was just to make sure we're consistent, persistent, patient. That it's got, you can't play like any social media. You can't play at it. So we had to make sure that we found our lane, and that was will it stick and listen to that grip. So the whole ASMR stuff of just listening to somebody spraying something and all this sort of stuff, whatever, it resonated. So we lent into that. We've come away from it. We need to go back into that. So we've probably lost our way a little bit. That all the things we were doing, we stopped doing. We need to go back and do it because it was working. So it's been a great journey. We now really need to monetize that TikTok following that we've got, whether it's through shops or whether it's direct back into e-com.
Have you found that like your audience is not necessarily your like person who you tend to be targeting on like your other social platforms on TikTok? Then are you just doing it for that brand awareness piece at the minute?
Yeah, and that's 100%, isn't it? So 70 million views of one post, for example. That's definitely not 70 million goalkeepers. If it would, if it was, it'd be awesome. So they're seeing it because it's some what I don't know. So yes is the answer, where we can be a hell of a lot more targeted with our Instagram, with our meta strategy, because we can define a goalkeeper, and our YouTube strategy also we can define that. And just as a little aside from that, one game we have seen is we took our TikTok Shorts strategy and pushed very much the same sort of strategy into YouTube. We weren't really resonating at all in YouTube. And within a very short space of time, we went from, I think, 6,000 followers to nearly 250,000 followers in probably 12 months by basically taking what was working in the TikTok channel and pushing it into YouTube, but YouTube Shorts. We haven't cracked long form yet. So for us, that was an easy win to start to resonate with an audience on another social media platform.
It's really exhausting for all you brands, isn't it? Like you literally have to be everywhere. Like, oh my God, you're so busy. And just to kind of like tie us over and kind of finish off this panel on like the meta piece. So for both Ripple and Julian, what have you found to be like the winning strategy to enable you guys to scale, and how are you really tracking the ROI of the efforts that you're putting on the platform?
Testing. Creatives.
Yeah.
Hooks.
I think it's there are multiple different strategies. There's some spray and pray, which is a legit strategy, and some people slow down and really are very intentional about making their creatives. And I think for us, it's got to be kind of somewhere in the middle, because I think you should think about your creative and how it ties into what the buyer wants and what their context is. I think that's really, really important to understand, so the potential customer understands or makes you feel like, they're understood. But you've also got to push out enough creatives to really move the needle, because sometimes things work that you won't have even thought about, or you were banking on this thing working and it absolutely folded over. And so you do have to push a certain amount of creatives out the door.
Yeah. What do you think about these days? Obviously, everyone, I wouldn't say it like this, but everyone's a content creator these days, aren't they? And when you're sourcing UGC, I feel like just everyone knows that that's fake. Like,
oh yeah, so mate, you are on point, mate.
We see the best results from our customer service just hitting up a past customer, going, "Oh look, here's a £30 refund. Could you do us a little video?"
100%.
That one is still been running for 2 years. We've had one,
for sure,
£30 refund. It's done over like $250,000 in sales.
Yeah,
one ad.
100%.
Just that, literally that.
100%. I mean, like,
bit very simple.
People are smelling UGC bullshit from a mile away, and like people are on there being like, hey guys, and it's very overacted, and then loads of professional UGC creators communicate, or like
Expensive, the really
yeah,
good
and
ones.
it's expensive, by the way. And by the way, AI is a cheat code. I've duplicated myself and cloned my voice, and it's almost indistinguishable with the right tools, which is going to be sick for our organic strategy as well. But yeah, like you'll get creators come on, you pay them $130 or whatever, and then they
$250 dollars.
yeah, and then they produce stuff that's not there because they don't understand the brand and stuff. And so it does get that way. I'll tell you what, brand representatives are way better than UGC.
Yeah.
So if you're just like, I had this problem and I solved it, it's crap. Whereas if they turn around and say, look, you guys need to buy this because it's got this, it does this, it solves this problem, it's way more believable when it's more of a brand representative than someone be like, I definitely fell over once when I snowboarded. And you're like, well, you clearly didn't. You clearly didn't. And so I think that's super important. It's a really good point.
I mean, what the briefs we give to some of our UGCs actually come from our customer service team. So they actually know our customer better than us sometimes. So they're on the phone to them all the time. Like I didn't know till recently that most of our customers are over like 55 years old. So we're starting to source UGC now that are like that age. They're like mirror the customer. You know what I mean? And we've seen better results.
Comments are a great place for that as well. Like we've got one of our best motorcycle angles for our best selling product from the comments, and it's not something we would have thought of by ourselves. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to say we were that smart, but we weren't. Somebody else said it, and it's so random.
Rich data in the comments. People gush about problems, or they gush around things that they, alternative solutions that they go through. Crap about your product. It's just like, well, you need to improve this. The comments are such a rich data source for product improvements, for marketing angles as well. And yeah, it's really, really good.
Is everyone feeling inspired to like really go all in on Meta, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube? Anything else I've missed? No? Ready?
That and lunchtime that's coming up, yeah.
Lunchtime.
Easy go, Matt.
Matt's the same, man. Like, it's